And welcome back, friends. So I wanted to start this session off with trying to complete a few quests, because we still had a few things left over, one of which was the Dead Cast, which I had to... It looks like I have to find one more thing, which I believe is in the Dead Trenches. I had to look it up because I couldn't figure it out. I was running around, just couldn't figure out where I was going, what I was doing, what I needed to do, so I just, quickly looked it up and check to see what I needed to do, and it looks like I got the armor, but I was missing like an insignia or something. So I need to run back there and find that. And then the other one, where was it? It's actually not really the quest yet. Anyway, it is, where are they? Is it under plot items? Yeah. So it's the head in the bag, the torso in the bag, and then the last thing that I need to get, which is in the Audukin Taig, is limbs in a bag. And what I'm supposed to do with this is collect all these things and then take them to an altar. So that's where we're heading right now. We'll probably turn on some haste. Here we go, run a little faster. And we'll see about finding these things. And it looks like the Darkspawn have decided to repopulate, I guess? Can't hit this Ginlock to save my life. And that one's dead. Anyway, so I'll probably just cut to finding the limbs in a bag, just because it's a lot of running around through the same old thing and fighting the same old things. So no one wants to see that. It's all boring. I get bored with fighting sometimes. It's just, same old thing, like I said. There we go. There's the new quest, Asunder. The ritual was very specific. As such, things probably should be. Torso, head, and limbs, spread amongst the deep roads to prevent the creature from returning. Looks like they died during the cutting, but we can fulfill the last part in their stead. I'm not familiar with Elven ritual, why would I be? But it seems pretty straightforward. And then, all the way at the bottom, torn ritual page of indeterminate origin. The body rendered to its separate parts, spread wide such that no life is witnessed, no heartbeat detected. In this way, the beast can remain for an age, as knowledge passes and pursuers live out their lives. So we now have the new quest, and I should probably figure out where that wants me to go. What is the journal, right? Oh, these completed quests. I need quests. Asunder. You have found the grisly remains of some kind of feyed beast. One that must have intentionally dismembered itself. Ooh. Comparing the notes suggests that the carving was done in the deep roads near Caridin's Cross. So we know where we're heading next. Caridin's Cross. Alright, so somewhere in here, I think, is supposed to be a sarcophagus or something for the Dead Cast quest. This one I don't remember too specifically. So maybe I can just check my inventory. Plot items. Well, no, I have the dead cast insignia. Maybe I need to go get all the pieces of armor, which I thought I had. Alright, so I think I do have all the pieces for the dead cast, and I'll figure that out when I head back to Orzammar. But for now, while we're here in the deep roads, we'll go ahead and try to find the altar that I need to find to place the torso and the limbs and everything together with. Which I have honestly no idea where this altar is. So I'll run around like a chicken. Bark, bark. Altar of Sundering?
It shall be done.
The altar in front of you, though broken, tingles with energy. Place body parts on the altar, said casually.
You have restored that which was cut asunder, and revealed my hiding place. Speak your intention. Seek you vengeance or reward? My deception was convenience, not cowardice. A fight you want, a fight you shall have.
There is no way I'm letting something this big and monstrous looking live and stay alive.
We must fight.
I mean, it looks like a freaking ogre.
Now we get our answer. Let us end this.
I'm just gonna that, drop the aggro. This guy really isn't as difficult as I thought he was going to be. Well, apparently I can't just hit him. There we go. He didn't drop anything. Well, that was exciting and worth it, I suppose. Let's check the quests. Completed quests. Wow, that is a lot of quests. Asunder. Well. So, it says that I freed it, even though I killed it. But according to the wiki, it's one of the bugs, saying that you freed it instead of killing it. So that's great. Well, no matter, I suppose. Now we head back to the Shaperate and see if I can turn that quest in like I was trying to. But first I'm going to stop over here at Ruck and see if he has anything fun to sell. Alright, so we completed the Asunder quest, which I honestly was hoping and expecting to be better, cooler. I don't know, not something quite so done and over with. Because, I mean, all it was really just putting the assorted limbs back on the pedestal, and then the demon dude was like, hey, set me free and I'll pay you. or don't and fight me. And so you either get money or you kill him and get nothing. Yeah. I don't know, it was very lackluster. Was not a fan myself. Maybe this one will be a little less disappointing. Alright, I'm supposed to find the Book of Memories? There is a book. Legion of Steel. Paragon Caridin vanished in the 11th year of the reign of King Valtor, and with the Paragon, the entire process for golem manufacture was lost. Expeditions were sent into the deep roads to track him, but the Darkspawn drove them all back. Finally, in the 2nd year of the reign of Queen Getha, 126 golems, the entire Legion of Steel, were sent to recover the Paragon. None returned. The Shaper of Golems refused to support any further attempts to find Caridin, and the Paragon was officially declared dead. The Shaper never recovered from the loss of an entire legion of golems and never again allowed an all-golem regiment in the deep roads. Interesting. So where's the Book of Memories? This book? No, just things about Orzammar politics. I want the Book of Memories. That is where I was told to go, wasn't it? Return to the Orzammar Shaperate to interact with the Memories book on your right-hand side of the Shaperate Scribe. This dude? Shaperate Cataloger. Cataloger. Scribe. Sit on the right-hand side. That would be over here. Scribe. Aha!
Very well.
The dead caste insignia has been entered into the memories. The Legion of the Dead may eventually be considered a caste or house of its own. Finally. Well, that was painstaking enough. Alright. So after all that, all that's left is to go to Denerim, I suppose. So off we go. Alright, so I've been wanting to do this for a while. I know that I got my persuasion skill up a little bit, so I was going to see if I could convince Bodrick to tell me anything. So let's try. What's your story, man?
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm originally from Orzammar, just as you are, I suspect. You don't have the look of a surface dwarf about you. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Well, go on.
So, as I said, things were going well. But good things must come to an end. One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
That's not right. So what happened?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these casteless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
I see.
The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Interesting. And now, here you are.
Yes, here I am. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
You didn't mention your son in your tale, yeah.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
Interesting. That was very generous of you.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
And he is pretty adorable. Well, where did the goods come from? Not the deep roads. Yeah, I suppose it's something worth prodding in. It's an interesting story, that's for sure.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the lost tigers, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
I suppose it's better than having the Darkspawn take it
That's
all.
what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend. Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
I mean, you really can't blame him. Not at all. He was, taking a poor opportunity, but at the same time, they were not going to get back into, the deep roads and the lost tigers anytime soon. No one was going to
Your friends
remember.
are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. The Darkspawn have attacked Lothering. Word has it they swarmed the entire area, making off with prisoners and burning down the buildings. And then they were gone. Just as quick. I wonder if there's anyone left. I heard some chanters were going to head down south, maybe to try to find some survivors. I'm not holding out hope myself. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Any other rumors?
Stories are circulating about a Grey Warden forming a new army. Not Loghain, not the Banorn, but something else. Oral House says this new army would just add to the chaos, but nobody's listening to him anymore. You wouldn't know anything about that, I assume. Huh? I thought not. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Interesting. Other rumors?
Nora issued a plea to the Banorn to stand down, lest there be a repeat of the Winter's Breath elsewhere. I don't think they're listening, though. Many of them think Nora isn't even the one really speaking. They say the Queen does what her father tells her. Can't say I blame them. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Interesting. Well, he has a continued quest marker here. Oh, the feast day gifts. Alright. Well, no matter.
Yes.
Alistair,
Indeed,
Morgan,
yes.
and... What's her face? Win.
Memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.